talking money, need a hearing aid. You talking about me, I don't see a shade. Switch on my side, I take any lane. I switch on my core if I kill any pain. Look what you done. I'm a mother star boy. Look what you done. I'm a mother star boy. Look what you done. that you settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. Old friend, why are you so shy? Ain't like you to hold back or hide from the light.
Can I welcome you to Doncaster? You just stood and clapped for the 55 candidates. You don't realise how much that means to me personally and everybody else that's worked so hard to get them there. So far, everything is on track. We have 55 candidates, normal people of Doncaster that are going to represent Doncaster and give Doncaster back its soul. It needs that soul. Many of you probably wonder how a normal person like me could end up standing on a stage like this. The reality was that 8 months ago, just before the general election, I sat with my family around the dinner table, with my children and my grandchildren. And like a lot of times when you're all together, we were talking about politics and many other things, and I was doing my usual thing of complaining. My granddaughter said to me, "Grandad, stop moaning and do something." And at that point I realised that I had to, because whichever way we look at it, the country needs reform, Doncaster needs reform, and that reform comes in the shape of reform. It's important that everybody goes out and votes. Change is coming, and it's coming in a big way. The people of Doncaster matter. You matter, your vote matters. Never forget that you're the people of Doncaster. You alone will put the 55 candidates you just clapped for in the council offices. They're going to make the reforms that are going to make the daily life of the people of Doncaster better. I'm almost looking like a professional because I'm actually waiting for you to finish clapping. I'm not used to doing this, believe me. It comes very hard to stand in front of people and tell them how proud you are. Just 6 months ago, I sat with 4 people in my office: Ian, Zoe, John, her husband, and myself. After that first meeting of a couple of hours, we decided that we needed a leaflet to go out to the people of Doncaster to make the statement that that reform was here and we weren't going away. We've delivered something like 120,000 leaflets. Those leaflets have been delivered by everybody, a lot of people that are in this room, but also by, in particular, a young man who's 80, somebody will have to remind me, 84, 85? His name's John. He goes out daily delivering these leaflets, and for that I would like you all to give him a round of applause if you would. It's amazing how normal people, when they put their minds to it, can achieve great things. And that is what I see in Doncaster. The future for Doncaster is in this room. Our children need opportunities that the reform candidates will provide. Our town needs investment. It needs so many things. It's a broken town. I had the fortune to be doing a small video the other day with Tim Sinclair, another person that helped us out tremendously. And when I listened to the passion and emotion inside the candidates you have before you, it's unbelievable. If that carries forward, which it will, into the council offices, believe me, Doncaster will have reform. And as I said, it comes in the shape of reform. I've probably come to the end of my time because I'm not good at keeping time. We have one of our candidates called Simon Wellings, who's going to come up and say a few words. So if you'd like to give him a round of applause, I'd be grateful. Thank you.
Good afternoon, fellow reformers. It's an absolute honour to stand before you today, not just as a candidate for the Reform Party, but as a proud son of Doncaster, standing shoulder to shoulder with Nigel Farage and with you, all of you who believe that this city deserves better. My name is Simon Wellings. I was born and raised in the villages around Doncaster. I went on to study engineering at Brunel University and spent the first 10 years of my working life right here in Yorkshire. Then, like many in search of opportunity, I worked abroad in Switzerland, China and the United States, ultimately as the CEO of a multinational electronics company. After that, I chose to come back home, back to Doncaster, back to my roots. And what I've seen since coming here deeply troubles me. I live in Sprotbrough with my wife, our 11-year-old son, and our border collie, Timothy, just a stone's throw away from my ever-supportive parents. I run my own small business here, and let me tell you, running a business in today's Britain is not for the faint-hearted. We've had decades of mismanagement by the Labour and Conservative parties and by the local Labour Council. They've made promises, they've played politics, and they've let us down. Our taxes are up, our services are down, and our voices are ignored. In Doncaster, we see it every day. The roads are a mess, the high streets are littered with drunks and drug addicts, the shops are closed, businesses are failing, crime is rising, and working families are being squeezed from every direction. But we have great cycle lanes and a beautiful empty council building. And some wonderful shops. The political elite in Westminster, they're completely detached from the people they're meant to serve. They don't understand the challenges we face in Doncaster, and quite frankly, they don't seem to care. But I care. And that's why I'm standing for reform. Because I've had enough, and it's time to do something about it. I believe in common sense. I believe in giving power back to the people, not career politicians. As a small business owner, I've felt firsthand the crushing weight of over-regulation, bureaucracy, and high taxation. It's choking the life out of businesses, entrepreneurs, job creators, and ordinary people just trying to get ahead. We need to stop wasting millions on bloated local government and net zero vanity projects. Redirect that money to where it matters, into cutting taxes for working people and small businesses, and to put in local people first instead of paying for thousands of immigrants. This is not extreme, it's common sense. This is what we the people are asking for, and what the Labour Council refused to do. In Doncaster, we don't want handouts, we want fairness. We want opportunities. We want our safe, caring communities back again. I'm not a career politician, I work for a living, and I'm not here to play the political game. I'm here to serve, to represent the hard-working people of Doncaster who are sick of being ignored. This is our chance to send a message, not just to the council, but to the country. Doncaster will not be taken for granted. Doncaster Council needs reform, but to get reform, you have to vote for it on May the 1st. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's amazing, really. It's a very normal person that just stood up and said what he believes in. That is what makes us great. The fact that we're all very, very normal people. We want a change. We need reform. With that said, I'm going to introduce the next person, who is another young man called Hughes. If you'd like to give him a round of applause, I'd be grateful as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Doncaster. I must admit, when we all walked in there to see everyone, it was quite emotional. I will tell you now, I did feel it from the bottom of my heart. So thank you very much for coming today. Thank you. I've entitled this 5-minute speech, it's called From Mining Village to Reform Candidate, and it's just going to let you know how I came to be stood here today. I was born 60 years ago, thank you for calling me a young man, Erwin. I was born 60 years ago in a humble mining village called Stainforth, a place where the grit and determination of its people were as deeply embedded in our lives as the coal beneath our feet. From a young age, I was faced with a pivotal decision: follow the footsteps of many family members and friends down the pit, or pursue my own dreams and join the armed forces. The allure of adventure and duty led me to choose the latter. I spent 6 momentous years in the Army Air Corps, an experience that shaped my character and instilled in me the values of discipline, teamwork and resilience. And I even learnt how to fly a helicopter. At the age of 25, seeking a new challenge, I joined South Yorkshire Police. Unsurprisingly, my military background meant I became an authorised firearms officer quite soon into my career, and I served on the armed response vehicle for several years, before moving on to the motorbike section and serving 7 years as a road traffic officer. I did expect a few boos then, to be honest. Thank you. This was followed by a transition to local neighbourhood teams, where I dedicated myself to community policing until my retirement in 2016. It may surprise you that I found community policing the biggest challenge and most rewarding role in my police service, as I truly felt I was able to change the area I was working in for the better. And this is possibly one of the biggest motivations for standing up as a Reform ward candidate, as I know there will be massive challenges ahead, but I cannot ignore the chance to improve many people's quality of life over the following 4 years, and the satisfaction that will give us all as candidates for the rest of our lives. My personal life was marked by profound joys and heartbreaking tragedies. I had the honour of caring for my terminally ill wife, who, in a poignant twist of fate, was a cancer nurse specialist. She was actually nursed by her own devoted team until she passed away in 2017. Just 2 months after her passing, my 15-year-old son tragically died after taking drugs at a party. As a retired police officer, even with the constant reminders to say no to drugs, this loss profoundly impacted me and continues to shape who I am today, some 8 years on. So why am I standing here today, addressing you? The answer is simple. I can no longer stand by and watch our proud nation and its proud people be treated as second-class citizens. The time has come to lay the foundations of a new era in political awareness, starting with us, the Reform Party. We must begin at council level, striving to represent our families and communities who have been neglected for far too long. With unwavering commitment and energy, we must reclaim the quality of life that has been gradually stolen from us by the self-centred and elitist uniparty. Our mission is clear. We must ensure our ward members know that we represent them, listen to them, and act on their behalf. It is imperative that we keep them informed of outcomes, whether good or bad, something sorely lacking in the current council system. Having spent over a decade of my police service working in the ward I am now standing for, I am acutely aware of the issues eroding the quality of life in our community. I know how to tackle these issues, how to develop and implement action plans, and how to leverage multi-agency approaches to bring about lasting improvements. Where there is a will, there is a way. I have my own little saying that sums up the recent battle I have had to overcome self-doubt in what I am letting myself in for as a Reform candidate, as I am sure many of my fellow candidates have. And that is, small cogs turn big wheels. And I am proud to be a cog. If there are any other potential cogs here who can help their respective candidates in any way, be it leafleting, canvassing, displaying a poster, every pair of hands and every type of help will greatly be appreciated. Would you do that for us, Doncaster? Thank you, thank you. I have taken the oath of allegiance twice in my life, and on both occasions I have been prepared to give my life for this country. That will be the case until I die. My 20-year-old surviving son is currently attending university, studying law and criminology. Who would have thought? God knows where that comes from, and it is for his and future generations that I am offering myself to the Reform Party and all that we stand for. I do know that will resonate with a lot of people in this room. In conclusion, my journey from a mining village to the army to a police career and now to potential political aspirations is a testament to the resilience, service and determination that define my character and the character of many of those present. I am committed to fighting for the rights and well-being of our families, community and for the country, and I believe that together we can achieve great things. It is time for reform, and it begins with us. Please vote on the 1st of May. Thank you.
It's amazing what comes from the heart, isn't it? Every one of them is the same, I can tell you. I'll testify to that day in and day out. Every one of your candidates that are here are exactly the same. The same passion, the same need, and the same will to make Doncaster matters, because it does matter. It matters to every one of the candidates that I've seen grow and grow over the last months. I've watched them come from really being scared to suddenly believing that we are going to do it. And today, it's going to start with Doncaster. Tomorrow, it will be my boss. And with that, I'd like to introduce the man you've all been waiting for, Nigel Farage.
I now call the leader of Reform in the UK, Nigel Farage.
We are the new kids on the block. We have no experience in this Parliament whatsoever, even though some of us have tried many times over the years previously to get here. So we can't judge you from working in this place, but we can judge you from the way the outside world sees you. Believe me, folks, this is just the first step of something that is going to stun all of you. Thank you very much. Nobody on the front bench has ever worked in private business. Nobody on the front bench understands what genuine risk capital is. Hard work is the only way anybody succeeds individually. And hard work is the only way we're going to have a chance as a country to turn any of this around. We are in much deeper trouble than anybody on either front bench dares to admit. You know, for a Labour Party that couldn't define what a woman was, couldn't define what a working person was, well, after today I'm pretty convinced they can't define what economic growth is.
We believe that a society looks after its weak, but encourages everybody else to do the very best it can. We don't care about skin colour, we don't care about orientation, we care whether you share the values of this country. We care whether you obey the law, and we'll judge you on who you are. We'll judge you on who you are as a person. Isn't this what everybody wants? Is that what we're going to fight for? Can we make history? Are you going to be part of it? Thank you very, very much indeed. It wouldn't be reform without the fireworks, would it? And fireworks is what we're going to produce here in this city on the 1st of May, when we are going to stun the establishment, not just here in Yorkshire, but the ripples will be felt right across the country, because I genuinely believe we can take control of this council, we can win the mayoralty and begin the process of turning this city around. And that's why I'm here today to launch the campaign. Don't worry, that's all right. Oh dear. All right, we've got a screamer. We've got a screamer. And we'll take him on at the ballot box in a democracy. The reason. Just last week, the 105-year-old last surviving pilot from the Battle of Britain, and did it so that we can disagree sensibly. Oh, you don't look very well. Oh dear. Well, actually, be fair, didn't look very well to me. And isn't this the point? The point about our country is, in a democracy, you can disagree with people. But in a democracy, you respect the right of other people to have different opinions, to express them. That's the point. That's the point. That is what previous generations gave so much for, including that 105-year-old who died last week. The very last. Oh, go home. Go home. Go to. That's all right. That is going to happen. So, know, folks, what we know is that the hard left, here we are, free Palestine, there we are, there we are, there we are. So what we know is that Antifa, which is a hard left organisation, which in America resorts to violence. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, we know. We know. We know. We know. Oh, and by the way, before you go, thank you for the free publicity. Thank you very much. So we know that these hard left organisations are going to do everything. Go back to school, please. We know what's going to happen. Boring, boring, boring. They will do everything. They will do everything. Thank you. They will do everything they can to stop this being a free and fair election. Have a look at that. Have a look at that. The anger. The anger. You must be at university. You must be at uni. Yes, and that's what you get, folks. That's what you get when the National Education Union are going to propose at their conference next month that they tell young people like you, loser, they're going to tell young people like you see? Yeah. That is what you get. That is what you get, folks, when teaching unions in this country are poisoning the minds of young people, not just against reform, but against everything this country has ever stood for. And I'll make it clear. When we're in a position of power, we will go to war with these left-wing teaching unions and make sure our kids are taught properly. And that is what we'll do. And we will stand up and fight for the values, not just that we believe in, but the silent majority in this country believe in. I came back into politics after a few years of retirement because I could not bear to see the societal and economic decline that our once great country was in. And I came back to fight around the things that mattered to me. And what matters to me is family, community and country, and it matters to me and it matters to you. And we will not be stopped by a ranting student mob. We will fight on and win these elections in Doncaster. And hey, the political opportunity has never been bigger. We have a Conservative Party that frankly doesn't know what it stands for. Yeah, that's all right. Just get rid of him. Sado. I don't know about free Palestine. What about free speech in our country? Genuine free speech in our country. Yeah, and I say that. Two-tier justice, two-tier policing, two-tier care. The Labour government are off to the worst start I've ever seen in my lifetime. And tomorrow, Rachel from Accounts will get up to give us another dismal performance. at the dispatch box, and as we all know, over the course of this summer, in hospitality and indeed in retail, huge numbers of people are about to lose their jobs. This Labour government is taking our economy over a cliff, and it's led, this idiocy is being led primarily, not just by Rachel, but by somebody who is a Member of Parliament for one of the Doncaster constituencies. Do you remember what he said? He said our energy bills would go down by £300 under a Labour government. As of the 1st of April, in just 10 months, your bills would have gone up by £300, affecting every family in this country as they carry on with this net stupid zero lunacy that is deindustrialising our country. Madness. They are making us poorer. Starmer said he would take on and smash the criminal gangs, sending those young men across the channel. 1,500 have come in the last 5 days alone. We already, since he came to power, have had 35,000 cross the channel, and we're on course this year for a record ever number. Nothing Labour said in their manifesto holds true. They are failing as a government, and they're failing running this city too. The Tories offer no opposition whatsoever, under a leader who doesn't seem to know what she stands for. And here in Doncaster, this is, and perhaps it's appropriate that we're at the racecourse, this is going to be a two-horse race. It's between us and the Labour Party. And I'm going to put it to you, that Doncaster is broken and Doncaster needs reform. Have a think about it. Your council tax bills have risen by 22% here over the course of the last 5 years. And there are 9 highly paid directors, all earning £100,000 plus, to manage your money. Yeah, I'm going to come to that, don't worry. To manage your money and to make sure the streets are safe. Well, what are the results? Doncaster is in debt to the tune of £425 million. But let me put that into more perspective. The interest payments alone on Doncaster's debt are £48,000 every single day. I mean, it's almost unbelievable, isn't it? To think of struggling local services or areas in which money could be well spent, £48,000 a day in debt interest. It's just astonishing. But of course, and I suppose with Miliband as one of the MPs this was to be expected, they have managed to invest £20 million on new cycle lanes in the city that nobody ever uses. It's just an example of how your money is being wasted. And then one that'll really make you angry. They've spent, of your money, Doncaster City Council have spent £300,000 on interpretation services over the course of just the last 3 years. And why is that? Because you've had to cope with 700 asylum seekers being put through the system in your city alone. And whilst these may be failures more at national level, they've certainly impacted at local level too. So wherever we look, we see failure. £35,000 spent with consultants to recruit people for just 2 jobs. Can you see the extent of the waste of money? And that's why this city needs a fresh start and a fresh boss. I believe we can do better managing people's money with the experience and depth of talent we've got compared to what has gone before. We can win this, and we can do better for council taxpayers in Doncaster, and that is exactly what we are going to do. And then there's the issue of crime and safety. Crime in this city is 85% higher than the national average. And a recent opinion poll showed that over 50% of the residents of Doncaster don't feel safe walking in the town centre. Just how appalling is that? How can a city that once had great pride have sunk to those depths? And much of this will have to do with how the mayor and the council interact with the local police and what the priorities of the police force really is. And I don't think the police spending huge amounts of money advertising LGBT Week is necessarily the priority of people of Doncaster. It's police on the streets, it's tough sentences for carrying knives, it's getting law and order back so that people feel safe in the centre of this city. And we will, when we win, fight for that and fight for it very hard indeed. We have an extraordinary few weeks coming up. I'll be launching the campaign in Lincolnshire this evening, and I'll spend the next month travelling the length and breadth of the country. I regret the fact that 5.5 million people have had their votes taken from them in counties like Essex and Norfolk and Sussex and elsewhere. But there are still many of you that do have the vote, including here in this city. So I'll be travelling the length and breadth. We are now the opposition to this Labour government. We're ahead of the Conservatives consistently. They are melting away. And I believe that May the 1st will fulfil the first big step on this journey. I said on July the 5th, in the wake of the general election, having come back just 4 weeks and 3 days before, that we'd get millions of votes and establish a bridgehead in Parliament. But I said on the 5th of July, the day afterwards, that we would professionalise and democratise this party. Our membership has exploded since then. The quality and talent of people coming to us is now really humbling and extraordinary. And something very big, folks, is happening out there. You know it, I know it, and when they all wake up on May the 2nd, the Labour government are going to know it too. Be in no doubt about that. Now, it is my happy duty to unveil our mayoral candidate who will head up this team and head up this candidates. We have a young businessman, somebody who's very much engaged and involved in the 21st century economy. He's used to managing people, he's used to managing teams, he's a young, fresh face to Doncaster politics, to British politics, and perhaps a great emblem of what this party is. We are a multi-generational political movement. I'm beginning to think, actually, amongst the 16 to 24-year-olds, we could even top the poll at the next general election. There is a change happening in this country. So please welcome to the stage our mayoral candidate here in Doncaster on the 1st of May, Alexander Jones.
Hopefully Nigel's got rid of all the hecklers now and we can proceed. So my name's Alexander Jones, I'm 30 years of age, I've grown up in Doncaster my entire life, born and bred, and now I want to see reform in Doncaster for the better. My past experience is I've worked as an estate agent, I've been a senior valuer, I have also managed businesses online, and I'm a very entrepreneurial man, and I feel like that experience can translate into leading the city of Doncaster forward. I want to see real change in Doncaster. I feel like a lot of the people are fed up. We've seen the state of the city, especially in the town centrally. When you go out, the litter, the antisocial behaviour, and I think we need a bigger police presence there, and we can do a lot better. I want to restore Britain's underlying values in our society, so people can be proud of their area, and we can all do much better for our town, and that would be a really great thing for everybody. I believe Doncaster matters, and I believe we're not going to get anywhere with the Labour or Tories doing anything in this area whatsoever. So I believe reform is the way to go, and we can do great things with the help of the candidates for Doncaster and me as your mayoral candidate to push Doncaster forward and make Doncaster great. I believe with the team I've got around me, we can do great things, and I've met many of the candidates. I've worked with them since the summer of last year, and I've seen the great work that everyone's been doing, the canvassing, hitting every single village in the area, and I've had a lot of positive feedback personally, and I know a lot of the candidates have as well. I really believe we're onto something in Doncaster, and we could be the spearhead to really push Reform UK forward to the future, and for this election and for upcoming elections too.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Big round of applause for this brave young man standing up. That was his first political speech. I tell you, getting up and giving your first political speech is just about the most nerve-wracking thing you will ever do in your life. I first did it 30 years ago. I swore that day I'd never do it again, and look what's happened since. I would now like, please, to ask all of the candidates that are standing in this election to come and join us on the stage, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, before you all go, I personally would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You really have made those guys' days. The future of Doncaster lies in their hands, and they will deliver for you. That I promise. The other thing is that, unfortunately, campaigns cost money. Now, I've got to ask, because I wouldn't be doing my job right if I didn't. But on your chairs, you'll find a QR code. Any amount of money that you can donate will make a massive difference to our campaign. The people of Doncaster are funding us. The Reform members themselves are funding us. So anything that you can give us will make a difference. And I promise you, every single penny is spent on making those candidates' dreams and your futures come to reality. Everything that we do is for Doncaster. Doncaster matters to me, it matters to you, and it matters to our children. Please think about it when you scan that QR code. With that, I would like to thank you all. Truly, thank you so much for attending, and hope you have a great day.
I'll make you cry when I run away. Take me back, 'cause I wanna stay. Save your tears for another. Save your tears for another day. Save your tears for another day. Made you think that I would always stay. I said some things that I should never say. Yeah, I broke your heart like someone did to mine. And now you won't love me for a second time. I don't know why I run away. Oh girl, I make you cry when I run away. 'Cause take me back, 'cause I wanna stay. Save your tears for another. I realize that I'm much too late, and you deserve someone better. Save your tears for another day. Save your tears for another day. I'll make you cry when I run away. Save your tears for another day. Oh girl, I said save your tears for another day. Tears for another day.
For a while there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold Decembers I recall. And I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all. And I thank God every day for the girl He sent my way. But I know the things He gives me, He can take away. And I hold you every night, and that's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose you. Oh, I hope I don't lose you. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please don't take. I found my mind, I'm feeling sane. It's been a while, but I'm finding my faith. If everything's good and it's great, why do I sit and wait till it's gone? Oh, I tell you, I know I've got enough. I've got peace and I've got love, but I'm up at night thinking I just might lose it all. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. I need these beautiful things that I've got.